Hi, this is Byron Kennedy, and this is my live event, Brian Banks. Background for Brian Banks. Born July 1985, Brian Banks grew up to become a standout athlete and student. While attending high school in California, Brian's bright future was interrupted when he was charged with sexual assault in 2002. His accuser is a fellow classmate who accused Brian of kidnapping her and raping her on the school campus. Following the plea bargain, Brian served 5 years and was listed as a sexual predator. And in 2012, Brian successfully got his conviction overturned, as well as the removal of his name as a sexual predator. After being exonerated of all charges, Brian was drafted and signed by the NFL's Atlanta Falcons. The reason I chose Brian Banks for my talent is because of his unlimited potential as an athlete and as a public figure. For Brian Banks, athlete endorsements alone can range in the millions of dollars for things such as Gatorade, Nike, Visa, and Wilson equipment. Brian Banks has also become a very popular individual with regards to his story itself and how it shows a person can overcome through optimism and hard work, even in the face of adversity. The live event for Brian Banks is a story movie premiere, a documentary called The Brian Banks Story. With The Brian Banks Story, we are able to see 3 potential products coming from the documentary itself. A cable network broadcast on Fox Sports 1, which is a new branch of Fox Television, and BET Networks. Also, the film itself would be listed in limited release, as well as a potential DVD. Location and venue for the movie premiere would, of course, be in Atlanta, where Brian Banks is currently working as a linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons. The plan for the live event is for Brian Banks to also have a speaking engagement prior to the movie premiere that evening. Brian Banks would speak with students from Morehouse and Spelman College, located in Atlanta, Georgia. The venue itself is the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, which contains a large capacity seating arrangement of over 4,000 seats available. The venue itself is very old school, built in 1929. The Fox Theater is a very historical landmark in Atlanta, Georgia. It located right in the heart of downtown Atlanta in the Peachtree District. With large seating capacity and its popularity, this would be the perfect location for a large-scale movie premiere. The schedule for Brian Banks begins at 7 a.m. when the private car arrives at the hotel to pick him up, where he would then be taken for breakfast. After breakfast, he would have a series of radio and television interviews, and he would break for lunch at 12 noon. After 12 noon, he would go to the venue where he would prepare a sound check for the lecture beginning at 2 p.m. Guest lecture for the HBCU students from Spelman and Morehouse universities would be from 2 to 3:30 p.m. After 3:30, from 3:30 to 4:15, Brian would have time to sign autographs and take photos with some of the students. After the autograph signing and photo op, Brian would be driven back to the hotel and have dinner at the hotel. And he would also have plenty of time to rest, relax, and prepare for that night's movie premiere. At 8:30, Brian would arrive on the red carpet to meet with the press and prepare for that evening's movie premiere, which starts promptly at 9. After the premiere, the after party would begin, which would also be located in the Fox Theater from 10:45 to 1 a.m. At 1 a.m., Brian Banks will be taken back to the hotel to rest, and that would be the end of his day. For the talent writer, this would be very specific to someone who's not a musician and also not an actor. For individuals who perform speaking engagements, they also, just like musicians, include a technical writer for how they want the speaking arrangement to be set up. Budget for the live event would include both locations for the speaking engagement as well as the actual movie premiere. The event budget would consist of sales received from tickets, as well as t-shirts, posters, and signed autographs in the VIP section. The VIP ticket sales would, of course, be more than the regular ticket sales. However, we want to also include a discount for students who would also be expected to attend from that day's lecture. Estimated income would be over 250,000. Actual income is around $170,000. Actual expenses, are around $62,000. So a total profit for the entire day of $115,200 with 20% arranged for Mr. Banks. In the risk analysis, we wanted to concentrate on three things. We wanted to concentrate on health of the talent, transportation, and technical audio and visual mishaps. The likelihood of Brian taken ill is extremely low. Again, because he is an athlete, he's in top physical condition. So anything short of a physical issue, the likelihood is very low. But if Brian were to become ill and unable to make his appearances, the impact would be extremely high. So the action taken would be to reschedule the actual lecture for the universities and perform any of the interviews via telephone. Actual appearance at the movie premiere would, of course, not happen. Transportation, low likelihood of, if, say, for example, the private car does not show or breaks down, is medium impact, because what we would do to alleviate that issue is to have a second private vehicle on standby or taxi at the last resort. Technical audio visual mishaps are medium. It's a medium likelihood because, again, it's one of those things where you do have to take that into consideration. Things do break down, microphones don't work, lights go out, things of that nature. So, even at the movie premiere, the projector may break down. Just the likelihood again of that happening is, we do want to give that some consideration. So the impact on that is also extremely high. So the action would be to have a backup copy of the film, also have a backup copy of the projector, lighting and sound check prior to films and the university appearance. Some insight on artist management that I have coming through at the end of this project is that it takes a person who is not only incredibly focused, but a person who is incredibly patient and a person who is also able to multitask um, many different uh, situations and scenarios. So, and also a person who has incredible foresight. Uh, this has really taught me that unless you have a deep, serious love for what you do, uh, management may not be the thing for you. However, I have learned to appreciate the incredibly meticulous attention to detail that you have to have, which is something that I like to do, just in general in my day to day tasks.